Okay, so let us start with last application belongs to potentiometer. In previous two videos we consider first application to compare electromotive forces of two given cell by two methods. First we consider individual or separate method in which we got formula comparison of EMF of two cell means E1 upon E2 is equal to L1 upon L2. In this first method L1 was the balancing length when first cell was connected across potentiometer get balance. L2 was the balancing length when second cell individually connected across potentiometer. And second method, we compare this EMF E1 by E2, yes, by formula L1 plus L2 upon L1 minus L2. And note out the second method is called as a sum and difference method. In this equation, L1 is called as a balancing length when series combination of two cells or cells in some method get balance across potentiometer, while L2 be the balancing length when cells in parallel or cells in difference combination get balance across potentiometer. And now remaining second application belongs to potentiometer is to determine internal resistance of a given cell. We know that internal resistance generally denoted with letter small r. Already we studied in 11th standard. If we consider a cell, suppose of EMF E, internal resistance is small r, and suppose now it is connected across an external circuit, suppose of resistance capital R. Now if we consider Ohm's law as applied for a complete circuit, then already we discussed E is equal to capital V plus I into small r. Now here E be the EMF of given cell, small v is nothing but terminal potential difference across external resistance, I be the current drawn from this battery or current flowing through this circuit, and small r is called as internal resistance of this cell. Now this is formula method. If capital V by means of voltmeter is known, EMF is known, current we can calculate using ammeter, then small r we can calculate using this formula. No doubt from Ohm's law also we can calculate. But by using potentiometer also by very simple method, by making only two measurement, two balancing length L1 and L2, we can calculate internal resistance of a given cell. How? So let us consider now method to determine internal resistance of a given cell using potentiometer. Now as usual, first part is nothing but construction. So construction is as usual. Let us consider this black color circuit shown over here. AB is nothing but thin uniform copper wire, which is a potentiometer wire. In order to send current through this potentiometer wire, a battery capital B having sufficiently high EMF, a key K1 just to start or stop electric current, one rheostat are connected in series with this potentiometer wire. So this black color circuit shown, it is construction of potentiometer. We are going to consider this potentiometer. Now a cell whose internal resistance is to be calculated is connected across this potentiometer. How it is connected? See here, blue color circuit shown. Positive of given cell, it is connected to that point to which positive of main battery is connected. In all the experiments which we discussed, this is important precaution. Positive of main battery is connected to that point to which, yes, positive of main battery is connected. See here. This is important precaution so that balance point should be obtained over entire length. If we connect in another way, then it is not possible to get balance point on entire length. That's why this is important precaution to be followed while performing experiments. Positive terminal of given cell must be connected to that point to which positive of main battery is connected. Now here, negative via highly sensitive galvanometer, it is connected to sliding key or also called as a jockey. Now time being, suppose only this circuit is there. Forget about this external part. Only cell and galvanometer is connected. Blue color circuit. Just focus over here. I think this application already we discussed in previous video. Comparison of EMF by means of, yes, individual method. When given cell is connected across potentiometer. Now suppose this jockey just starts sliding along this potentiometer wire. As soon as jockey is touched, some current I dash will be drawn from this cell also. This I plus I dash both combinedly flows. And the point where the jockey is touched to wire, from that point again I dash, it is returned to galvanometer. So again it is returned to negative, and till further only current I will continue to flow through this. So these are the two circuit. Black color circuit is potentiometer circuit and this is a given cell circuit, blue color. Now here Just sliding the jockey somewhere, suppose a point P is obtained. Suppose this is the position of point P for which galvanometer shows zero deflection. If galvanometer shows zero deflection, what it implies? How much current flows through it? Zero. Reason? Principle of galvanometer. It works on the principle that Ig is proportional to theta. And hence, no deflection is observed. Central deflection is zero always. So, current flowing through galvanometer is zero. Current flowing through galvanometer is zero means how much current is returned to negative? Obviously zero. It means that zero current is returned, but general rule of each and every cell is that whatever current is drawn from positive, same current is returned. So no current is returned, it means that no current is drawn. It means that I dash is zero. What it implies? Yes, cell is open circuit. Cell is open circuit. So now as soon as this point is obtained, measure length between point A and P. And suppose now this length is L1. Once this length is L1, now we know the general case. As per the law of conservation of energy, voltage between these 2 point A and P of main battery will balance this EMF because it is open circuit now. So E we can write equal to VAP. But as per Ohm's law, voltage is current into resistance, so RAP. But resistance is sigma into L1, so I sigma L1. This is equation number first. Already we discussed in previous video also. So this first method is as it is, no change at all. Given cell, you have to connect across potentiometer, you have to slide the jockey or total length, and somewhere guaranteed you will get a point P for which galvanometer shows zero deflection. Once that point is obtained, you have to measure this balancing length, and simply this formula E is equal to VAP, means EMF of this cell is balanced by voltage of this battery between these 2 points VAP, or that is equal to IRAP, that is equal to I sigma L1. Now, in next experiment, what to do? This cell is to be shunted, means in parallel with this cell, we have to connect a resistance box. Why to connect resistance box? Actually, resistance box is called as an assembly of resistor, from which a certain known resistance, say capital R, is to be selected. Now, this upper circuit, third circuit, again black color I am using over here. This is external resistance circuit in which one key K2 is connected, and suppose now it is connected to this side. Now, in first experiment, only key K1 was closed, K2 was kept open. So that procedure is same as we discussed. When this key is closed, current is drawn I. When jockey is touched, current I dash is drawn, which will flow on this side only. This current cannot flow from this side because key K2 was open. So when this key was open, yes, upper circuit acts as open circuit. So only current can flow from this closed side. So by means of sliding jockey, we got a point P for which galvanometer shows zero deflection. Hence, we measure length AP equal to L1. We have written this formula. Now what to do? Close key K2 also. Now you tell me, when key K2 is closed, what happened? K1 is already closed. Now K2 also you have to close. In that case, this I dash will be divided into two branches. Means current drawn from this cell, yes, some part flows lower side and some part upper side. So I dash means this is I1 dash and this is I2 dash. Now I1 dash, it will continue to flow through this wire. Then again here it will flow through galvanometer. It will show certain deflection. Are you getting it? I1 dash. This I2 dash through this external circuit resistance, known resistance, through key, it is received to this point. Now here I2 dash and I1 dash again combined together, and total current, that is I dash, it is returned to negative. In this way, three circuits are completed. Once again, listen me carefully here. Main circuit, potentiometer. When this key is closed, current I is drawn, it will continue to flow through this potentiometer wire. When key K2 is also closed, jockey is touched, then I dash current drawn at this junction divided in two parts. I1 dash lower side, I2 dash upper side. I1 dash combined with I, both combinedly flows up to this point. Then I1 dash is divided, here I2 dash from upper side, both combined, I dash again written here. Now suppose, just go on sliding the jockey again on total length of this potentiometer wire and obtain somewhere a point Q, another point, for which once again galvanometer shows zero deflection. Once this galvanometer shows zero deflection, theta equal to 0, what it implies? No current flows, means I1 dash is 0. I1 dash is 0, what it means? How much current is drawn from this? Yes, now this is not 0, because I1 dash is 0, it means that I2 dash is not 0. means I dash is not 0, means total current drawn, it will not go towards lower side because it acts as open circuit, but whatever current is drawn, it has another path from upper side. This current will continue to flow through upper circuit. Listen me here carefully. From this upper side, this current will flow. Means total current I dash, now it will flow from this upper side. There is no dividation. Entire current flows upper side. Means now cell is not open here. This is point to be noted. In previous case, when key K2 was open, cell was open circuit. No current was drawn. Now here, balance point is of 10. But cell is not open. Current is drawn. It is flowing from upper side here. And when cell is running between two terminals, yes, EMF is not available. There is only terminal potential difference V. And terminal potential difference of this cell, it is balanced by voltage between point A and Q. Again, law of conservation of energy, no doubt. So as per Ohm's law, this is equal to I RAQ. But RAQ can be written as sigma L2. You have to assume here length AQ is equal to L2. This is second balance length. When, yes, cell is shunted. Cell is shunted, what it means? Across this cell or in parallel, external resistance R is connected. So when cell is shunted, L2 is the balancing length. At that time, EMF is not available between these 2 points. Means between these 2 points and these 2 points are in parallel. So whatever voltage is available here, same voltage is available here. Between these 2 points, voltage is not EMF here now. It is only, yes, major part of EMF called as a terminal potential difference. Because some part it is utilized to overcome internal resistance. So V is equal to VAQ is equal to IRAQ. So we can write I sigma L2, equation number 2. Now finish. This is entire experiment. Now experimental part is over. Remaining part is only physical part, and that is from these two equations, if we take ratio, we will get E upon V is equal to, I think I sigma cancel, so L1 upon L2, equation number 3. Now this is not the end. We have to determine internal resistance of this cell. Now here E by V ratio we got as L1 upon L2. Now what to do? Simply recall Ohm's law as applied for complete circuit. We know that according to Ohm's law for complete circuit, yes, we know the formula, yes, E is equal to capital V plus I into small r. Now think over this circuit only. EMF is E, okay. Terminal potential difference V, current it is, we assume as I dash. So entire current, because from lower side it is open circuit, so entire I dash current drawn, it will flow through this upper side. So entire current I dash, it flows through this external resistance. So current I dash into smaller. Now if we divide both sides by V, E by V is equal to divide by V. If we divide both terms separately, then I think it will be V by V plus I dash divided by V. V get cancelled. So E by V ratio will be equal to 1 plus I dash smaller. What will be capital V? Capital V is voltage across this resistance. So according to Ohm's law, this is current into resistance. So I dash R. Because current flowing through this resistance is also I dash. I dash get cancelled. Hence we will get E upon V. This ratio is equal to 1 plus small r upon capital R. Equation number 4. Very important. See here. E by V is equal to 1 plus small r by capital R. We consider here Ohm's law for external circuit. E is equal to V plus IR. We divided both sides by capital V. E by V ratio we got V by V is 1. I dash R, capital V we replace as I dash R. I dash cancel. Hence we got E by V ratio is equal to 1 plus small r by capital R. Now from equation 3 and 4, what is conclusion? See LHS. This is E by V. This is also E by V. So we can compare RHS. So comparing RHS, yes, what will be the equation? Yes, tell me. This equation will be equal to 1 plus small r upon capital R is equal to L1 upon L2. Now here, if we carry out further calculation, small r by capital R is equal to L1 by L2 minus 1. So take LCM over here. L1 minus L2 upon L2 is equal to, or capital R take on that side, so small r is equal to capital R in bracket, yes, L1 minus L2 divided by L2. This is very important equation. Mark as equation number 5. Now this is formula by means of which internal resistance of given cell can be calculated. Capital R be the known resistance selected in resistance box. L1 is the balancing length when key K1 was closed, K2 was open. That means when cell was open circuit. While what about L2? L2 is balancing length when both the keys are closed. K1 is closed, K2 is also closed. That means when cell is not open circuit, that means its terminal potential difference is balanced against that potentiometer. So by knowing these two balancing length only and this known resistance in this resistance box, internal resistance of the given cell can be calculated. Now this is about the application part related with potentiometer. Now both the applications we completed. Now one more article on this potentiometer is left, that is about advantages and disadvantages of potentiometer compare with voltmeter, which we will consider in next lecture. Thank you.